a vice chancellor comes and a vice chancellor goes, my friend, but there are some vice chancellors who remain even after they leave the university. And I'm proud to tell you, Dr. Professor Nilima Gupta is one who is known for innovative approaches, for promoting research work, and for adding value not only among the students, but also among the faculty, among the teachers. So with these words, I would request Dr. Professor Nilima Gupta to share her insight and guide all the participants. Over to Dr. Professor Nilima Gupta. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. A very good evening to all of you. I'm really so happy to be a part of this meet, that is Crisis to Conquest. Now, when we talk about crisis, we are reminded of two things. Crisis means this is a stage of difficulty. And what are the things which are right now associated with the crisis? And of course, how we can deal with these situations. We have crossed certain disasters right now, and I must say there have been very many disasters in the past also. It is not that this is the period. We may say that if I just date back to the 1770s, when we have the great Bengal famine, which was followed up by the super cyclone in Odisha in 1999, the Gujarat earthquake in the year 2001, the Indian Ocean tsunami in the year 2004, the Bihar flood disaster, which occurred in the year 2007. And right now also we know we had some very drastic situations when we had Yas, which came just after Totki. So we have had such situations where it has become a little difficult to handle them. So now to think of what are these situations, and it may be the crisis may have been due to very many factors. They may have been due to environmental disasters, or they might have been otherwise also. To name a few environmental disasters, we had different types of floods, as I was telling you. We have had, even on one hand, we have, India is really very peculiar. On one hand, we are having floods. On the other hand, we are having droughts. So they are all situations of crisis which have to be handled. And also different types of storms and cyclones, and also earthquakes. Now the question arises that when we have such types of conditions, how can we handle them? Like if we have this drought, the condition of drought, so how can we handle this situation? This is mainly due to uncertain rainfall in some parts of the country, where we suffer from conditions like drought. And it is mainly during the cropping season when our farmer becomes very much disturbed as to how we can overcome this situation. At this time, we must have an effective policy and strong institutional support so that we can overcome it. When we have situations of flood, like in Bihar also, I see that there are situations, very grave situations which have happened in the past. And I also came to know that right now also, year after year, we have this situation. So if we consider this situation of the floods, the first priority after floods is to provide food when we have this type of condition, to provide first aid, and also we have a number of waterborne diseases, how to get rid of all these waterborne diseases. So this also needs a lot of planning. Then we have to also plan for cyclone and tsunami management. Here we have to have certain relief measures so that we can get rid of them. Earthquake, this has also become very common in some parts of the country. And here, when we are suffering from this type of disaster, or it occurs in certain parts of the country, then we should have minimum construction work should be done in earthquake prone areas. And there should be a check on mining and construction of big dams and promotion of earthquake-resistant houses. I'm reminded of my visit to certain countries. Like when I went to Japan, we know that Japan is prone to these earthquakes. And now if you go to Japan, just see the beautiful Japan, how they've been able to reconstruct the entire country, and how they also today also they are taking measures that they are preventing themselves from these earthquakes. The second country which I visited and I saw the same thing there, that is Poland, that is in Europe, where I had the chance to visit several times this country. And there also, when I visited Warsaw, and I was surprised when I visited the Polish Academy of Science, who sponsored my visit. So everything was wooden. And they said that we have these types of construction so that we can prevent earthquakes. And they have been able to handle these situations. So for us also, we have to handle these situations. Now, it is not that we ourselves are taking care of the situation. It is the government of India also who is playing a very active role. And they have, we have an act also, that is the National Calamity Management Act, which was enforced in the year 2000. So we have to, now what happens actually is that the government is formulating certain policies, but we are not following them. So it is our duty that we should make the public aware about these acts, and we should make them follow these acts. And I think if we make them do that, because here, if we go through the act, we have a National Calamity Contingency Fund, which has been provided. There's a provision for that. Then we have water and climate related calamities, geographically related calamities. And then it is not only the government of India which has enforced an act. Even the state governments, they are also playing an active role, and also the district magistrates at the district level also. And I would say it is not only at the district level, it is also at the family level. When we hear, हम सुनते हैं कि दिल्ली में earthquake आ गया, हम लोग क्या करते हैं? All of us, we try to for the small kids and all, we tell them कि earthquake आ सकता है घर में, हम लोग कैसे अपने आप को बचा सकते हैं? So here now I would say that basically there are three principles for disaster management. First is that we have to be aware and we have to prepare ourselves. अपने आप को तैयार रखें, औरों को भी हम तैयार रखें. So the second is we have to strengthen the resilience to disasters. By strengthening ourselves to the resilience to disaster, then also we can help in overcoming the disasters. And third, which is very important, is that we have to prepare the communities to face nature's disasters or hazards. I am reminded of the Kedarnath disaster, when, of course, on one hand, we had the disaster, but on the other hand, even those people who were live and they were stranded at Kedarnath, we were not able to take them out. We were not able to provide them medical care. We were not able to transport them to the plains. So we have to take care of all these things, and then only we can take care of this disaster. Now, coming exactly to the word of crisis, what is this crisis? This crisis, let me take a very recent example, and I think all of you will be a little bit activated, and all of you have a knowledge about that, but just for a revision sake, that is coronavirus. Coronavirus, it also came as a disaster. It came as a pandemic, and we had crisis. So what were these crises? Just try to recall. We had a crisis of hospitals. The number of hospitals were very less. The number of patients were more. We had a crisis for doctors. We had a crisis for healthcare workers. Again, the number of patients were more, and we did not have sufficient number of doctors to care for them. We had a crisis for oxygen, all of us know. And actually, it was not a crisis for oxygen. We had a sufficient amount of oxygen, but the problem here was that there was a poor management. We could not transport our oxygen to the hospital sites. We had good laboratories where we ourselves could produce. Oxygen production is not difficult at all. Those of you who are in science laboratories or working with science, it is not difficult to produce oxygen, but then we were not able to transport them. We lacked management. This was a crisis, and we couldn't do it. Medicines, we had these medicines. Then why was it that these medicines, they were not available? Because there were some unwanted elements who were even, we all know that black marketing was going on, and we were not able to manage the situation. We had, it was a very good landmark research-oriented task which India did. by making vaccines. We had indigenous vaccine, that is Covaxin. We had research collaborative vaccine, we have Covishield, and both of them, they are being used today, and we are vaccinating people. Now, what happened? That even today, we have not reached the target. And we often read in the papers, in the TV news channels, आज vaccine नहीं पहुंच पाई, इसलिए इतने लोग रह गए. Poor management. We have not been able to manage the crisis. We have the vaccines. We are not being able to transport them. We are not being able to judge what is our requirement and how many vaccines we have in stock. So we have to, all these are crises. And I'm just referring to our recent condition, which we are crossing, that is COVID-19. And then even very small things, I think we know the oxygen meter. They became scarce in India, entire country, we could not get them. My sons, they are abroad, and fortunately we escaped through this virus, but they were so worried, and they imported one oxygen meter from Singapore. We have it here. And because, I mean, children are always caring about their parents, but in entire India, we said that we'll get it if we need it. We do not require it right now. But the fear was there. It was a crisis which made our children panicky in this situation, and they even thought, and they sent this oxygen meter here. Forget the oxygen meter. This small oximeter जो हम लोग अंगूठे उंगली में लगाकर ऑक्सीजन देखते हैं, 800-900 की चीज हम लोग 3000, 4000, 5000 में हम लोग खरीदते रहे. This is again a crisis. All these are very small crises, but we have to manage them. Similarly, we have, I think, this crisis in all states. I can talk about Bihar, but I think the time is too short. I was given 7 minutes, so I'll just wind up. But really, we have crisis in all the states. They can be different types of crisis. Not only in different states, in different districts, in different countries, and we have to take care of these crises. So I think that we shall try to, my proposal would be that we should try to analyze, and we should try to think that what is the crisis which we can expect in the future. So right now, our priority should be that we might expect the third wave of coronavirus. So depending on our past experiences, how can we manage this crisis? We would be successful in crisis management if right now, based on our past experience, we can prevent the third wave. And even if it comes, we are able to handle that situation. That would be an expertise in our crisis management. So I do hope that our speakers here, I see that we have speakers from different countries as well, and they will be sharing their experiences and their thoughts, what they have been doing in their countries to manage this situation. But here, as we have certain leaders here who are present here, who are going to show us the light as to how to manage crisis in different situations, I would like to speak a few words for them, because I would like to say, I think all the people who are present here, mainly the people who are going to deliver their talks here, and they are the panelists for this webinar. I would say that they are all lamps, shining lamps for us. And just like a lamp does not speak, a lamp does not speak, it introduces itself through its light. It introduces itself through its light. Similarly, achievers, they never expose themselves. हमें गाने की जरूरत नहीं है कि हमने ये किया, हमने इतने vaccinations कराए. काम करने की जरूरत है. Achievers also, they never expose themselves, but their achievements expose them. So let us be the achievers. Let us try to, our activities, they themselves will be exposed. We need not do anything. We only have to work hard so that we are able to manage the crisis. Thank you very much. I really thank the organizers, the Giant Step entire organizing committee for inviting me and for allowing me to share my views. I wish you good luck and success in your endeavor. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Brilliant. Brilliant. And her deliberation reminds me of Charles Dickens. Facts and facts alone are wanted in life. She began with all important data, and all the data from the recent disasters, and the way she concluded. Each one of us has to be the light, and we have to be the inspiration. And I love to say, time for having role models is over. Each one of us has to be the role model now. That is perhaps the essence of what Dr. Nilima Gupta said. Time has come for us to become role models. Thank you very much. It was very comprehensive, very deep, and quite thought-provoking. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dr. Nilima Gupta. Thank you very much.